Good afternoon, Chairperson and members of the Board. The purpose of this briefing is to update the Board on Smart Tracking Limited's 2023 to 2024 Information Security Resilience Strategy, building upon the April 2023 attainment of ISO 27001, a security risk management framework, and how it aligns with the company's strategic roadmap. This will further assist us in protecting revenue generation and in differentiating ourselves from our competitors. Information security at Smart Tracking Limited is defined as the understanding, managing, and mitigating risk of critical data or business processes being negatively impacted. Our resilience strategy for the next 12 months until March 2024 takes our current maturity state, laws and regulations on the horizon, and leverages an improved risk management methodology to make recommendations on how to align our top 10 risks to further remove blockers to our company's success. I have broken out our strategic initiatives under 6 different themed categories, which are intricately interrelated and touch upon various business activities, policies, and processes. These initiatives arise out of undertaking a capability gap analysis and, as you will shortly see, have also been ranked by their business impact. We undertook a maturity gap and scoring analysis immediately after our 27001 certification. Given that 27001 is a baseline, I wanted to determine what gaps remain between our present standing and where we need to be. We fall down on metrics, awareness, incident response, business continuity management, and access management, which are all areas we'll need to improve on otherwise for future 27001 audits and recertification. This is because we recognize that compliance is an outcome of good cyber hygiene, and the certification is a baseline minimum standard we should be exceeding and evolving. The results, combined with an enhanced and updated risk assessment using a balanced qualitative and quantitative approach, form the core of the resilience strategy for the next 12 months until I mentioned March 2024. The present-day top 10 risks are listed here, encompassing a few broad themes: data privacy, suppliers, awareness, physical security, management, and technical architecture. They are plotted on a heat map matrix against impact on the horizontal and likelihood on the vertical. The individual values are derived from the subjective views of the different subject matter experts and department heads in the company. The top 10 risks come from improvements needed in awareness training to protect against social engineering attacks such as tailgating, phishing, and improper disposal of confidential information, from incidents and incident management processes needing to be better defined, and lastly, from our reliance on a single manufacturing plant. Of the remaining 7 risks, only one, asset sprawl, is rated medium. So why mature and enhance our security program instead of just fixing individual issues as they arise? Well, we operate in the UK, Europe, and the USA, where a myriad of regulations, directives, and privacy legislations apply. The EU Cyber Solidarity Act will create a European cybersecurity shield and a comprehensive cyber emergency mechanism impacting critical industries including aerospace and automobiles, which will have the effect of these companies further strengthening our supply chain risk management. We are a critical component in many such companies' supply chain. There are also the revisions to the NIST cybersecurity framework and the executive orders from the Biden administration, which increases scrutiny of the security of the supply chain. The EU has parallel efforts in play. The European Cyber Resilience Act aims to set the boundary conditions for the development of secure products with digital elements by ensuring that hardware and software products are placed on the market with fewer vulnerabilities and that manufacturers take security seriously throughout a product's lifecycle. It also aims to create conditions allowing users and customers to take security into account when selecting and using products with digital elements. We are currently in a strategic advantageous position with our 27001 certification. However, our competitors will also need to obtain 27001 due to the automobile and aerospace industry's supply chain risk management. We will consequently need to further mature our business security program to continue holding a competitive advantage. Therefore, I have taken the risks and looked at what information security categories we need to focus on. In order to better prioritize actions based on return on mitigation, I employed Hubbard's one-for-one substitution model. This model looks at probability as a percentage, the confidence interval of impact in monetary terms, the cost of controls, and inherent and residual losses. Overall, we could reduce our expected inherent losses from 164K to expected residual losses of 23K if we implement the right controls, and all of the control costs would be under the projected inherent loss if the risk does occur. Based on the workings from the previous slide, here are the risks ranked in decreasing priority order and mapped against the strategic initiatives required to achieve the requisite risk reduction. These are complex undertakings which will require the board's backing and involvement of senior leadership, department heads, and subject matter experts. Done correctly and methodically, the security of the business's value creation processes and digital information will be greatly enhanced, as can be seen in the next slide, which is a visual representation of the different areas of the business color-coded using the same colors as on the earlier heat map. There will be no very high risks remaining. In summary, while the strategy does not go into an overview of the technical risks faced, the risk register is re-evaluated on a yearly basis as business risk appetite may change and as new business-related security risks are identified. The identified initiatives would raise us to a minimum of a 3 in the maturity scoring model presented at the start, which should be the baseline minimum measure for all information security coverage. The wider business security risk landscape is formally discussed at the quarterly meeting of the Information Security Management Forum. The forum is comprised of executive leadership, including but not limited to the CEO and any other appropriate personnel. Any technical security matters are translated into business terms and discussed at the forum meetings or outside of them if an emergency arises. The existing security architecture and program allows us flexibility to face known and unknown challenges. The enhancements made will go some way towards meeting the revisions to the ISO 27001 standard and the upgrade needed in 2025. They provide the operational resiliency to better adapt to unexpected events. They also underpin business processes by improving incident assurance and linking behavioral and process change to the business objectives. I thank you for your time and welcome the opportunity for questions.